McGee's, and you all may not know, it's an old cartoon, and if you open your closet door, you're liable to get hit in the head with something.
Now let me go back. Your husband, ma'am, I'm sorry, when did he pass away?
2014.
And Mr. Roy did he get sick around that time, or is it a little before?
The day that I went to Nashville to schedule my surgery, he had a second stroke, and from that time on, he was either in the hospital or nursing home. And
would you have to go to doctor's visits and things around that time too?
Mm-hmm.
At some point after Mr. Roy passed away, did Melody come up, or during that time, was she helping you go to a doctor's appointment?
She did.
Was she staying with you during these times?
She did.
Now, after Mr. Roy passed away, tell the jury what you did with the .357 Magnum pistol, Roy's pistol, and your .38 pistol, special. Tell the jury what you did with it.
In one of our spare bedrooms, I had it wasn't a cedar chest, but it was a chest type that had quilts, sheets, that sort of thing. And I took those guns and put them in the chest. There was a TV on top of the chest. I don't remember, but I put a lot of stuff on top of the chest so that I didn't think anybody would look in the chest. It was too much trouble.
Did you personally put those in there?
I did.
Just those two guns?
Just those.
Let me show you some photographs. This is the first one in Barton 1.1. Do you recognize, did we come up and pick you up to come to court today?
Yes.
And were you there when they were able to take some photographs of this?
I was.
Tell the jury what this is a photograph of.
This is a gun safe that we have. And I guess because those guns had been upstairs and Roy wanted them for my protection, I put them in the chest instead of in the gun safe.
This is photograph 2 for you. Did you also find some .38 special ammunition?
I did.
Is this the box that looked like?
Yes.
Do you remember what all ammunition you had for the .38 special through the years?
On my shells that were there, it was a box that had a TGY, which is an old, it hadn't been in business forever. And that's where my shells came from. But they weren't there.
And this is the shells that they opened up while you were there?
Yes.
And that's 4. And then this is Ms. Barton. In Barton 5, those are the box of shells?
Yes.
Judge, I think I've tendered all those in, but I'm going to tender 5 in too.
All right. Objection?
No.
So moved.
Then 6, did the .38 special pistol, I'm going to ask you some questions later on, but just right at the moment, did the pistol go missing?
It did.
Did you start looking for things in your house?
I did.
How much did you tear your house up and things in the house looking for it?
Oh, I knew that it was only upstairs. And I looked everywhere. Closets, dressers, chests.
Do you have a how many, you don't have any children, ma'am,
I don't.
but you have a niece and nephew are close to you?
I do.
And then, is it Jennifer?
Yes.
Did she encourage you to look before you came down here for us?
Yes.
Did you go back and look through the house again?
We did a complete search.
Does Jennifer love you?
She does.
She want to make sure you look through the house?
Yeah.
Now
She
this is,
even said, how did you, she called and said, how did you know it was a 38? Well, Roy told me.
now this is number 6 for you. It's a photograph of a sock. See that?
I do.
Do you know whose sock that is?
I don't know whose sock it is. I'm sure it's Roy's. There were some shells down in it, and he would, of course, he had 4 to 11 hunting coats, and hunting, he had a backpack and everything else that you could imagine for hunting.
Did you find anything that has pockets in the hunting clothing?
Yeah, I found that, and peppermint candy. He was so afraid he'd get a coughing spell that he'd always carry peppermint candy with him.
Judge, I'm telling you, this is in Barton 8, which I thought previously to it was just for the record.
All right, any objection?
No.
All right, submitted.
And Ms. Martha, this is the sock with the bullets that you found in there.
Right.
Did you find any other ammunition for a 38 special in your house?
No.
But you said some were missing. Were some bullets or ammunition missing?
That went with my gun. He bought me a box of shells to go with my gun,
Okay.
and they were missing.
So it's not those box of.
No, because it was.
Do you remember the
that
brand of the one?
TG&Y, which was in the mall, and he just went there and bought the shells for me, but they weren't there.
Do you know what brand they are?
No, I didn't know.
These are the bullets that you found in the sock in the photograph 8. 9, just the safe again. All right. What is this one?
That's a 357 Magnum.
That's Roy's gun.
Yes.
Now, in this photograph 11 for you,
Oh, no. No.
all right, I'll go.
You were supposed
All
to do a
right, Miss
close-up.
Ms. Martha, I'm on 12 now. Just tell the jury what that room is.
Have you ever heard of a junk room? I'm trying to go through and get rid of, I'm gonna have to downsize. And I move things in there. But this is the chest at the end of the bed. Now, I've still got things piled on it, but I had a TV and I don't know what else. I would get, or I do get, my nephew Bruce, who is, he's 59, and sorry I told that Bruce. And then Jennifer, my niece, is a little boy, 15, and so he carries things. They both carry things down and carry to Goodwill for me.
And as we go through this, tell the jury, this is photograph 13. Is it correct you moved your 38 and the 44, your gun and Roy's gun, you put them upstairs in this chest here, is that right, that we see in the photograph?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember what year you put those up there?
Yes, it was 2019.
2019 that you put them up there?
No, it was 2019. No, I don't remember exactly. It was after Roy died that I put them up there. So it was after 2014
Okay.
that I put them in there. It was 2019 when I discovered they were missing.
Okay, that's what I want to talk.
The 38 was missing.
What I want to ask you is, and I want to show you a picture. I'm going to go back to it. This is number 13. This is number 14, the photograph. And then, let me back to 14. I'm sorry, Miss Martha. And then, this is 15, just kind of the contents of the chest. As we took them when these were taken recently, right?
Yes.
After the defendant was arrested in 2019, did you go upstairs to do something with the, I guess, TV and other stuff with this chest?
We were taking some things to Goodwill. And so we looked in the chest. And at that time, I had quilts and sheets. And I had it down under. And when we looked, just the 357 Magnum was there.
You said, was there a moment that Melody, before she was arrested, before everything happened with Gary, was there a time that she was at your house and you told her where some things were in your house?
There were, yeah, yes.
Do you remember how you described that to law enforcement, that moment? You said you had a certain type of moment.
When I told her, yes, she was there with Ella, her grandchild. And I mentioned some money that I had in a dresser. And that it was more or less that if I needed something, those things were there.
Did you talk about where your pistols were?
I just told her that the pistols were in there.
And Melody was that?
In that chest.
And do you remember what year that was?
No. Oh, well, yes. It was the year that Emily got married because Ella came up
Now,
in 2016.
when you told the defendant, do you remember how you described that you had a certain type of moment when you told, I apologize, when you told Melody about that? Why did you have some hesitation now looking back on when you told her?
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, it's gone. I don't even know why. Melody and I were very close. She had come and done things for me during this period of time. And before that, she was the only child, baby in our family for 5 years. And my parents divorced when I was in about the 7th grade. And we moved in with my grandparents, who were her great-grandparents. So we had a closer connection because when her mother, grandparents came to see his mother and daddy, we were there. So we were very close.
Did you have
In fact, her grandfather gave me away at my wedding.
Now, outside of the defendant, I think you said Ella, did you tell anybody else where your pistol was?
No.
Specifically in that chest, did you tell anybody?
No.
Did you have a weak moment when you told her where some things were in your house?
I did.
Why was it weak?
Well, looking back on it, it was weak.
After you were watching Rusty testify, did you hear him and me ask him about guns in your home?
Yes.
When you heard that, what did you think?
Boing. I hope they...
Well, let me ask you this way. When you heard that, did you start thinking about the gun?
I thought you would call me. when the two different officers came to question me, they never, well, you heard the tapes, they never asked me if we had any guns. And that was kind of surprising because they seemed to know, about us. But,
No one had asked you about
No,
any missing pistols? After hearing Rusty testify, did anybody know you were calling law enforcement?
no, they didn't. It was, no. I just picked up that, I picked up the Kindle and
Was it weighing on you?
it had been heavy on my heart.